Worshippers in Nara Prefecture have viewed the hall of an ancient Japanese shrine for the first time in 140 years. Shinto priests and officials at Kasuga Taisha Shrine opened the hall to the public as part of a rebuilding ceremony. People have torn down and put up a new shrine on the site every 20 years since the Nara period, about 1,300 years ago. Worshippers looked through the hall, which is designed a natural treasure, and viewed is designated a national treasure, and viewed the garden. And they prayed at the foot of a mountain that has allowed access to Shinto priests only for more than 1,300 years. One worshipper said it was her first visit. She prayed for peace and health. Japanese government officials say the number of people aged 100 or older has hit a record high of almost 60,000 people. Officials with the Health and Welfare Ministry released the results of its annual survey of centenarians in the lead-up to Respect for the Aged Day on September 15. They said there were 58,820 centenarians in Japan as of September 1st, up more than 4,400 from last year. Women accounted for nearly 90%. Shimane Prefecture in western Japan has the highest ratio of centenarians with 90.17 per 100,000 people, followed by Kochi, Tokori, Kagoshima and Kagawa prefectures. Japan's oldest person, 116-year-old Misao Okawa of Osaka City, is also recognized as the world's oldest person by Guinness World Records. And Japan's oldest man, 111-year-old Sakari Momoi of Saitama City, is recognized by Guinness World Records as the world's oldest man. Japan has 153 centenarians when survey began in 1963. The figure exceeded 10,000 in 1998 and is increasing by 3,000 to 4,000 every year. Ministry officials attribute the increase to medical progress and a better living environment for the elderly. Japanese girls who want to become pop idols have held a concert in Shanghai to promote Japanese pop star dreamers in China. 9 Japanese high school girls from Osaka performed songs and dances recently. They dream of becoming popular idols. More than 200 Chinese people came to the event, and some Chinese students joined the Japanese girls at the end of the performances. The relations between China and Japan have been strained over the political issues, but many Chinese people are interested in Japanese pop culture. A Chinese man said he believed that the ties between Japan and China will be strengthened through cultural exchanges. A Chinese woman who came to see the group said Japanese idol groups have a unique fascination that will attract people across the world. Misaki Maeda, the leader of the Japanese girls group, said she hopes that the people of the two countries will build good relationships through cultural exchanges. She said she wants more Chinese people to know about the Japanese group. Officials from a Japanese city near Tokyo have signed a sister museum agreement with their counterparts in a city in Maryland. The Railway Museum in Saitama City and the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Museum, the oldest of its kind in the US, will share techniques of renovating and preserving exhibits. The executive director of B&O Railroad Museum, Kearney B. Wilson, said he hopes the museums can promote each other so that more visitors will visit. Masaki Oshida, the director of the Saitama Museum, said Japan exports a range of railway technology to the US. He hopes the agreement will help promote more exports. Fishermen in Sakai Minato City, Western Japan, have loaded up a haul of red queen crabs at the first auction of the season. Bidders are drawn to the city to see the largest catches of the crab in Japan. Fishery officials auctioned about 33,000 crabs. One bidder said the amount was good for the first day of the season. He said he hopes many people can enjoy the delicacy. Fishermen resumed the catch in September after taking a 2-month break to preserve stocks. They are allowed to catch the same amounts as last year. The catch will end next June. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has called upon the tiger range countries to keep their continued stride for protecting the big cats, as she assured that her government will do everything to this end. The Prime Minister made the call while inaugurating the second Global Tiger Stock-Taking Conference of the Tiger Range countries and Global Tiger Initiative's partners at a hotel in the capital on Sunday. The Prime Minister also said the tiger range countries will have to take steps reviewing their precious activities as well as renewing plans and implementation strategies. Sheikh Hasina urged the world community to join hands in protecting the Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove forest. The tigers protect the Sundarbans while the Sundarbans save Bangladesh, she said. The Prime Minister said unplanned human population growth, indiscriminate industrialization, destruction of forest and overall development pressure are causing depletion of the habitat of tigers. At the same time, illegal poaching and quizzing of its habitat make the tiger an endangered species. In the conference, she said the delegation heads of tiger range countries are committed to enhancing collaboration in management of transboundary landscapes and corridors, combating illegal trade and eliminating illicit demand. Highlighting her government's steps for conservation of the national animal, the Prime Minister said the government is implementing National Tiger Recovery Program and Bangladesh Tiger Action Plan. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent visit to Japan was highly applauded. Apart from pledging about cooperation on regional challenges being faced by two countries, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also brought home a big investment on various projects including infrastructure development and building of smart cities in India. It was also agreed upon that Varanasi will be developed like Japanese city Kyoto. Kyoto city of Japan presents a unique combination of ancient and modernism. The ancient capital of Japan houses one of the oldest temples and shrines, side by side, being a smart city with all the modern amenities. Kyoto bears a lot of similarity with India's Varanasi, as both have a large number of ancient temples. But the similarity ends here, as Kyoto is shining clean, while Varanasi presents a worn-out look. From rivers to roads, everything is clean in Kyoto, and not only the government, but the citizens too cooperate in keeping the city clean. Kyoto has been able to conserve its old city, temples and monuments, and it is called as a city of 10,000 shrines. Kyoto has a population of 1.5 million. It's connected with the present-day capital of Japan, Tokyo, and other cities through a network of bullet trains. There is round-the-clock power supply in the city throughout the year. Roads are eco-friendly. An American magazine has described Kyoto as one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Along with the culture, the city also stands out for its technology. The magnificent Kyoto attracts tourists from across the globe. Making Varanasi a small city on the lines of Kyoto will be a tall order, but India's picture will be significantly changed when it is accomplished. The Kai Tak cruise terminal recently said goodbye to the slow season and welcomed the first ship to dock there in months. The Sapphire Princess arrived the morning from Taipei with 2,600 people on board, a much-awaited sight at the Kai Tak cruise terminal. Taxis were called in to handle visitor arrivals, but passengers were encouraged to board shuttle buses to the city, an improvement from the last season. This time, there were no queues for transportation. The official opening of Kai Tak's second berth is slated later this month. The terminal will then be able to handle two ships at the same time, and its passenger capacity will be boosted to more than 5,000. It's also expected to increase demand for supporting facilities. The Sapphire Princess is expected to return to Hong Kong on September 28th. It will be the first ship to dock at the new berth and will leave the following evening. Another ship, the Voyager of the Seas, is expected to arrive on the 29th. In the meantime, with duty-free shops and a cafe on the terminal's second floor still running on a trial basis, business is slow. Restaurants and shops are also scheduled to open simultaneously at the second berth. The Tourism Commission says that more businesses are expected to open at the terminal soon. Depending on the number of visitors, transportation linking the terminal and the city will be increased according to demand. The number of cruise ships docking at the terminal is expected to increase from 28 this year to 55 next year. Animals at a zoo in Huai'an City in East China's Jiangsu province got a special mid-autumn festival treat recently when they were given specially made mooncakes. Zookeepers said they specially prepared the mooncake-shaped fodder to cater to the animals' tastes. A feeder at the zoo said they added a blue-green algae into the mooncakes to suit the animals' tastes. This also made the mooncakes more nutritious. The 8th APEC Tourism Ministers meeting was wrapped up in Macau recently after issuing a declaration to ensure the Asia-Pacific travel and leisure industry keeps pace with changing consumer trends and advances in technology. At the two-day meeting, 152 attendees from 21 APEC member economies and international tourism organizations discussed 5 main topics, including the integration of Asia-Pacific tourism industries, the transformation and growth of the tourism industry, the promotion of intelligent tourism with modern technology, encouraging low-carbon development and cooperation between tourism operators. By removing barriers and improving the integration of the Asia-Pacific tourism market, APEC member countries expect to meet a new target of 800 million tourists by 2025. The 152 attendees recognized that the Asia-Pacific region is the largest tourism market in the world and that there is a great potential for promoting the integration of the Asia-Pacific tourism market, according to the Macau Declaration. They encourage APEC member economies to discuss the necessity and feasibility of enhancing tourism coordination mechanisms in the Asia-Pacific region and promote the integrated development of tourism and other industries. Ministers also said that member economies should boost innovation, explore and promote smart tourism and related cooperation, and share business and other opportunities that come along with smart tourism. They vowed to steadily increase tourism market access, improve the mechanism for tourism market management, and simplify visa and customs clearance procedures. By improving visa processing, APEC stands to gain up to 57 million additional international tourist arrivals by 2016 and an estimated 2.6 million new jobs, according to a report issued by the United Nations World Travel Organization and the World Travel and Tourism Council. Established in 1989, APEC is the highest level and most influential regional economic organizations in the Asia-Pacific region. It currently has 21 member economies and 3 official observers. To enhance tourism exchanges and cooperation and facilitate tourism development of the Asia-Pacific region, a biennial tourism ministerial meeting was launched in 2000. TMM8 was the first APEC tourism ministerial meeting hosted by China, which has been sending delegations to the event since its inception. One of the biggest parts of one's hospital bill is the cost of accommodation. But starting this month, national health insurance benefits will make hospital stays much cheaper. The daily fee for this 4-person room in General Hospital used to be about $98, but with its eligibility for health insurance, it's now only a quarter of that amount. Lee Sun-yong of Patien welcomes this change because now patients don't have to pay as much. Now that the national health insurance benefits apply to hospital rooms for 4 or 5 people, patients only have to pay around $23 for 4-person rooms and $12 for 5-person rooms. Before, such rooms cost $40 to $59 a day. But patients receiving treatment at large hospitals still have to shoulder significant costs as they are required to use rooms for 1 or 2 people, which has become an established practice in Korea. Standard rooms in the nation's top 5 large hospitals, including 4 and 5-person rooms, make up only 62% of the total. Kang Tae-on, Secretary General, Consolidation for Medical Consumers, said because of the lack of large rooms, patients have to spend from 2 days to 3 days to as long as a week in expensive wards. The Ministry of Health and Welfare has decided to increase the ratio of standard rooms required at all large hospitals from the current 50% to 70% next year. The ministry is also considering raising the co-insurance percentage for long-term patients to 30 to 40% in a bid to efficiently secure standard hospital rooms.